Oh my days, oh my God, thank you, God. What a game, what a game. Man, tense moments, a lot of nervy moments in that match. But we are through to the final of AFCON 2023. What a game that was. That was a very nervy match, a very tough match. We had moments, but unfortunately we didn't take them throughout the 90 minutes. We got to extra time, nothing to separate the sides. And man, what a penalty shootout. All kudos, all credit to Stanley Nwabali. You know, he's the one that won this game for us. Nwabali won this game for us. And if Nigeria go on to win the final, Stanley Nwabali would have set his name in gold. He's going to be remembered for a long time. And he's going to be a Super Eagles player for a long time. He has helped us so much in this tournament. He absolutely helped us win this game today. You know, I off my cap for Stanley Nwabali. What a performance. What a shootout. As always, I'll tell you about the game, what I thought very quickly, and then I'll bring people on to hear their thoughts. But man, I hope you guys have caught your breath. I hope your heart is back in the right position after that penalty shootout. It was a very interesting game, you know, especially as a neutral. I'm sure neutrals would have enjoyed the game. In the first half, South Africa absolutely dominated. The Super Eagles were on the back foot. We didn't create any real chances in that first half. Our midfield was wide open. We couldn't keep possession in the first half. Alex Iwobi was very sluggish, very off, you know, very, I'll say, unaware of the ball. You know, it wasn't a very good first half performance. But Ajayi and Onyeka were working hard in that game. Ajayi and Onyeka were doing very well in that first half. And they helped us to keep the game goalless at halftime because South Africa had two good opportunities to hit us on the counter. And Onyeka and Ajayi were the ones that pretty much helped us and saved us in that first half. So Osayi Samuel, of course, in the first half also wasn't delivering, wasn't showing too much. Olaino from the left wing back, it seemed like his ability to attack was a little bit curbed because of the fact that he was playing from left wing back. And then again, Osimhen was getting no supply in that first half. But we went into the break goalless, 0-0. And then the second half comes. And then the Super Eagles show a different side of themselves. The second half comes, and from the very first minute of the second half, we're playing with more aggression. We're playing with more passion. We're playing with more desire. We're attacking them, you know. We dominated the second half. As much as South Africa dominated the first half, Nigeria dominated the second half. And we had a few good opportunities. Osimhen, a couple of headers, just off targets. You know, the headers they're not like point blank headers. They're not like so easy opportunities, but they're opportunities that Osimhen buries normally. When we see it week in, week out, Osimhen buries these difficult headers. The ball will be behind him. The ball will be 20 feet in the air. You know, but unfortunately, it just wasn't falling for Victor Osimhen in this game. We had a chance. Ademola Lookman absolutely should have taken that chance. Absolutely should have taken it. Unfortunately, Lookman tried to go around the goalkeeper, and Williams did very well. So it was still first half, you know, second half rather, going back and forth. William Troost-Ekong scored from the spot, of course. And in the 85th minute, on a beautiful counter-attack, Lookman with a fantastic run. Osimhen made a good run. Lookman used Osimhen as a dummy, played it out wide to Bright Osayi Samuel. Osayi Samuel squared it. Osimhen tapped it in. And we thought we had gone 2-0 up. We thought we had gone 2-0 up. And unfortunately, VAR pulls it back for a penalty. And I mean, it was a clear penalty. It was the right decision. Very sluggish, lazy, amateur foul by Alassane Yusuf, I must say. You know, he should have been more aware of his surroundings there. He should have done better. You know, very avoidable penalty that we considered. But unfortunately for us, it was a penalty. And in the 90th minute, we saw Mokena equalize from the penalty spot to take the game into extra time. And even before extra time, before the end of the 90 minutes, from a free kick, that South Africa had, our players just switched off. And after Nwabali made the save, South Africa could have won the game in 90 minutes. South Africa could have won the game in 90 minutes. Because after Nwabali made that save, I think it was he Mvala, or I forget the guy's name. No, Mudau, that had the rebound, and he should have absolutely scored it. He should absolutely have scored that chance after 90 minutes. He skied it. We go into extra time. In extra time, not too much to talk about. Osimhen, again, in the same vein, couldn't keep his header on target. Super Eagles were still playing a little bit conservative, still sitting back a little bit. And we had a fantastic counter-attack opportunity. Terry Murphy, with his pace, almost looked like he was 1v1 with the goalkeeper and just about to take a shot, and I was about to jump up and celebrate. And unfortunately, he got hacked down by Kekana. It was not a penalty. It was just outside the box, so it was a free kick. Kekana, of course, was sent off because he was the last man, and then we couldn't score from the resulting free kick. A tense game after 120 minutes, and we go into a penalty shootout. And again, big moments are meant for big players. And Stanley Nwabali has proven in this AFCON, and again today, that he is a big player for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. No team wins a tournament without a quality goalkeeper. You're not going to do it. No team wins a tournament without a good goalkeeper. And Stanley Nwabali has shown us time and time again today, that he is a top quality goalkeeper. Where has this guy been in our lives all these past years? Nwabali has proven that we should not even doubt him. Any match that is coming up like this is only Nwabali we want to see. Honestly, he rose to the occasion, and it was a fantastic display in penalty by Stanley Nwabali. Of course, Ola Aina scored his own penalty, but thankfully, Iheanacho scored, William Troost-Ekong scored, Kenneth Omeruo scored, and of course, Terry Murphy scored. One of the subs that the coach made, bringing on Hassan Yusuf, kind of didn't work in our favor, but bringing on Omeruo late in the game, bringing on Terry Murphy late in the game, of course, with penalties in mind. Omeruo scores penalties well, Murphy scores penalties well, and the coach justified those decisions, or they justified the coach's decision by converting their penalty in the shootout. If Omeruo had missed, that would have been the headline, that what was the coach doing? You brought him on in the 120th minute, because the commentators were even talking about it, that why are you bringing on a player that is not warm? But of course, Omeruo did the job, and we won on penalties. Again, I give full kudos to Stanley Nwabali. A fantastic display from the goalkeeping position. Kept us in the game during the regulation time, and again, saved us in the penalties. After Ola Aina missed, it would have been easy for the head of Nwabali to drop, thinking that, I've already saved one and then we go and miss. But Nwabali stood strong, stood firm, and he made quality saves. And I must say, the penalties that we scored were also top quality penalties. I give kudos to the team. Today I think Ekong was a proper leader, defended well. I think Shemi Ajayi did a very good job as well. I give Bright Osayi Samuel, after a shaky first half, Osayi Samuel raised his level and he did well for the rest of the game. Frank Onyeka, the tank in midfield, was fantastic, putting everything on the line, making quality tackles, making quality interceptions. Alex Iwobi was a little bit so-so, didn't do too well. Again, like I said, when he was off the ball in the first 60 minutes of the game or so, he was just very, I don't know if I would say lazy or lackadaisical, or just looked like he was not playing a full gear, Alex Iwobi. But when he went off, we kind of missed him in that midfield, although he wasn't playing too great when he was on. Ola Aina from left wing back wasn't as eventful as Ola Aina typically is. Of course, playing from the left-hand side, he cannot make those runs forward and then be so creative, because most of the time, he has to bring it back onto his right foot. We saw when Ola Aina tried to go on his left foot, he ran the ball out of play. So he wasn't his usual, eventful self on that left-hand side. Moses Simon wasn't his best game today, was a little bit shaky, created one chance for us. But other than that, he was losing most of his duels. He was trying to dribble. He wasn't really beating his man. So in the end, I think it was a good decision to sub Moses Simon off. Osimhen worked hard as he always does. Early in the game, he went down holding his abdomen. We thought, could this be a recurrence of the injury that they spoke about. But thankfully, Osimhen was able to last about 110 minutes. He had a pretty good game. He had 1 shot on target, 3 shots off target. Unfortunately for Osimhen, it's just not going in the back of the net for him. But there is a final to play. And maybe that's when Osimhen is going to score his goals. Let's wait for that final on Sunday. Osimhen might just turn up for us on that day. And then Ademola Lookman also worked hard, but didn't have the best time. Most of his dribbles, he couldn't get past his man. He had 1 shot on target. He created 4 chances for us, though. Ademola Lookman was creating some chances. Unfortunately, we just couldn't take it. Of course, some of those chances were from his set pieces, his corner kicks, but still, I think he had a decent game. And then for the substitutes, Alassane Yusuf didn't cover himself in glory today. Of course, when you come on as a sub and then you concede a late pen to allow them equalize, you'll be very down. But at the same time, he kept on working hard throughout the extra time. Accurate in most of his passes, but wasn't really doing the job that he was brought on to do. He lost literally every duel that he contested in that game. He didn't make any tackle. He didn't make any interception. He didn't make any block. So it definitely was not the best game for Alassane Yusuf. For Joao Aribo came and played 18 minutes. In that time, he completed all his passes. He created 1 good chance. So I'll say a decent performance for Joao Aribo. Omero came on late just to take a penalty. Terry Murphy came on and did well. Murphy, of course, won the free kick that got Kekana sent off. I wish it was a penalty. I wish he had scored it, but still, it doesn't matter right now. Murphy had a decent game. Iheanacho also came on and tried to be eventful in attack, making his AFCON 2023 debut. Had 1 shot on target. He had 1 shot blocked. The shot on target, of course, was from free kick that Williams saved. Okay performance from Kelechi Iheanacho. And Samuel Chukwueze, I think Chukwueze also came on to show a little bit of quality. He definitely was more eventful than Moses Simon when Moses Simon was on the field. He had 1 shot off target. He created 1 goal scoring chance for us. And overall, I think he had a decent game. He played with heart today. Chukwueze doesn't typically look like he's fighting. But today, he looked like he was really fighting and he played with heart. And of course, we got the win at the end of the day. Somebody says Alassane was better than Iwobi. Just that penalty misjudgment. Alassane wasn't really better. He didn't. He ran across the field. But no tackle, no interception, no block, no real quality contribution. As Iwobi wasn't so great when it was on, I don't think Alassane Yusuf was much better. But overall, I'll give the coach credit. I'll give the players credit. I'll give Stanley Nwabali the utmost credits. I'll give Stanley Nwabali the utmost credit. I think nobody can doubt, in my opinion, he's the man of the match. He's the one that saved us in this game. He's the one that won the game for us. Comment the moment, comment the man. Stanley Nwabali, my hands are in the air for you. Okay, those are my thoughts. We are through to the final of AFCON 2023. We await the winner of the game that is going on now between Ivory Coast and DR Congo to know exactly who we are going to face. Let me know in the comments who you guys would like to see in the final. Do you want Ivory Coast or do you want DR Congo? Let me some people on now to share their thoughts. Hey, can you turn off the music, please?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Boys, where are we going?
We are going to the final.
Okay.
We are in the final.
I'll go to you first of all. Abbas, welcome. Thank you for joining me again.
Abbas/Madiko.
Okay. But yes, very quickly, what did you think of that game? Penalty shootout victory. What did you think?
Penalty shootout. I mean, the game was. We could have closed the game. Let's not lie here. We could have closed the game. They could have closed the game as well.
Yeah.
But there were some bad performances. Let's not lie now. There were some bad performances, but by the grace of God, we made it. And honestly, I'm happy. I'll be win now. So yeah. But something. I'd just like to point something out. The coach. I think he was the assistant of Jose Mourinho, right?
No, I know he was assistant to was he? Mourinho
to Real Madrid.
in
Real
Real Madrid,
Madrid.
yeah, in
Yes.
Real
Real
Madrid.
Madrid. Yeah.
And you can really see the aspects of Mourinho's game in his game, if you know what I mean by the five at the back, the defending first mentality. And you know, before we came into this AFCON, what was our number one? Like everybody was saying, oh, they're not good in their
Defense.
defense. The defense is leaky. He went in, everybody was making fun of him. Even in football fans tribe, I was seeing Henry was saying this is new jeans, you know. But you know, he turned some heads.
Leave those
I
guys.
mean, we're through to the finals. I mean, a win is a win. You know what I mean?
Okay, Malik, do you have any thoughts to share with us as well?
I would like to continue from there. Can I continue?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I just want to say we thank God Almighty, we're in the AFCON final. First, thank you to God because let me know, like, this game was tough. We underestimated South Africa, and South Africa really good team. They in this second half they controlled the game. We can't lie, they controlled that game in the second half. And
who controlled the game? Nigeria, South Africa.
Huh?
Who do you say controlled the game in the second half?
See, in second half, I can't lie, South Africa controlled that game in the second half. Yes, but and Osimhen, we know Osimhen is playing through injury. He's playing through injury, so and is still so impressive that he lasted more than 100 minutes in that game.
Yeah.
Lasted more than 100 minutes.
Yeah.
And for me, please, can we elect next president Nwabali of Nigeria? Let's elect him from now because that guy. God, I want to kiss him on his head. I just want to kiss him.
I know.
So Nwabali, he saved us. I swear. So we'll see him soon in Europe. This guy's moving to a big club soon. He's moving soon to a big club.
And I'll ask both of you before I move on to the next person. Between Ivory Coast and DR Congo, who do you want in the AFCON final?
Ivory Coast.
But let's not lie to you guys. You are just in hostile environment. As you see us now, the place that we're coming from where we watch the game, all of them, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, all of them are there. They were praying on our downfall. We are the only Nigerians there, but you know, we put through. And
so you want Ivory Coast to the final?
Let me not lie to you. See, whoever comes, we'll take them. That's the truth. Whoever we know they agree. This is our AFCON.
Nigeria know they carry last. Never.
All right. And thank you very much, guys. Let me allow somebody else to go. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, over to you, Sid. Thank you for joining me.
No worries. Thanks once again. I think Nigerians are happy. We're just, I expected it to be a very tough final. I don't think the boys underestimated the South Africans. It was a good game. The South Africans played tactical. Hugo Bruce, oh, that's a loud noise. Hugo Bruce played the
can you
up
mute
ball.
yourself, Aruna? Sorry, just this.
Yeah. Can he move?
Yeah, go on, Sid. Go on.
Yeah, so Hugo Bruce made a very tactical game, he was avoiding our midfield and playing long balls and make sure that he positioned two attackers in between our defense line. And that gave us problem in the first half, all right? While Situle and Mokena were playing, and Ziwani. So Ziwani drops back into the midfield, and then we have a 3v2 situation in our midfield. So basically, a lot of people were not seeing what Iwobi and these guys were, and Onyeka was playing, but those guys were playing out of their skin. You notice that immediately Iwobi came out, then we saw that there's a problem, and a lot of people don't understand what Iwobi is doing. He's creating space in that midfield. But I thank God for the boys. I didn't expect Pesero to start this boy on the right, and move Aina to the left. But I don't know what is wrong with Bruno, why he's not trusting Bruno on the left wing back and keeping Aina on the right. And that gave us a lot of problem in the first half. But second half, I think they rectified that through ball. So South Africa was not playing anything through that football. We seized the second half, and I must give kudos to Pesero. I must give him his flowers. But most importantly, Osimhen. Osimhen played through the injury. The first move he made in the first half, and he was blocked. He got that injury. He saw that pain, but he soldiered on. he soldiered on and he gave us the penalty. And once he gave us the penalty, he felt it's game over. Let's lock up because now it's time to lock up. But unfortunately, Al Hassan made an error. I mean, anybody can make it. And after he made that error, I think he went into his shell. So it was a big problem. But I thank God that Pesero must be given his flowers. They worked on this penalty. One of the things we didn't see in this penalty is that they made sure that the goalkeeper second-guessed himself, because the goalkeeper realized that the first penalty in the game went through the middle. This first penalty of Murphy went through the middle. So he started second-guessing the next penalty. If you notice, he was not diving again, and the rest of the boys just started putting it at the end. So that was psychological game. And our goalkeeper was also playing psychological game with the South Africans because he was calling their names. He will walk up to them, call their names, throw them the ball. So Nwabali has confirmed he's the number one. There's no argument. People should not make all this, oh, he has not been tested. He has not, all those rubbish talk. Let's end it. It's over. He's the number one. He gives confidence to the defense. He gives confidence to the player. He's intimidating in the back of the line. I think Nigeria has got their goalkeeper. So we thank God that Pesero has finally, slowly but surely, he has got his team ticking. And the boys are now playing for themselves. Even Ihanacho, when he came on, he started playing for himself. So I think the guys did well. And I don't have any, I know the games were in patches. When we entered the second half of the first half of the extra time, the South Africans took it. The second half of the extra time, we took it. And then the South Africans were playing for penalty because they thought, you know, we'll get the penalty. I think their penalty in the game was a soft penalty on Al Hassan. I thought it was very, very soft. But
I don't think we can argue with that penalty.
no, it was soft. It was on the edge. Very, very soft. But they normally give it. But it was for me, I think it's a soft penalty. And I felt that the referee was not giving fouls to the South Africans. They were quite hard on Osimhen and some of our on Lookman. You know, I noticed that they doubled up on Lookman because they knew that this time we have to lock in Lookman. Lookman is the key. They doubled up on Lookman and made him a bit ineffective, and him and Moses. But our coach rose to the occasion. Once it was time, he put in his boys and they went for it. So I congratulate the team. And as it stands now, I think they're winning it. I've watched the two teams. The only team that is deadly is the Congolese team. But I think the Eagles have what it takes. Let Osimhen get his rest and then he will spearhead the attack. But I think we have a team to win the AFCON.
And finally, before I let you go, DR Congo or Ivory Coast, who do you want in the final?
Anybody.
No,
there's no problem.
I know anybody, but choose one. Who do you want?
I want the Ivorians.
The Ivorians. So we beat them.
Yeah.
They are in their own country in the final.
Yeah. I mean, Nigeria is a big team. Nigeria is a big team. We like to play against the host. Anytime we play against the host, we take them. And the Ivorians, we have taken them before. They will be more scared to face us. I think the Congolese will not be scared. The Congolese will not be afraid. It's their first final in many, many years. So they will play us as if like South African game, this game. So I want us to play the big team, Ivory Coast. Let's play them and silence the stadium for once. You know, silence it and move away.
All right. That's you very much for joining me and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you very much.
Remove yourself from your end so that I can bring somebody else on.
No worries. Thanks.
All right. Over to you, Santa Jerry. Thank you for joining.
My brother and everyone watching, congratulations to Nigeria. But first of all, big respect to South Africa. As South Africa football, they have so improved in this competition. And they brought their A game. You know, they gave us the run for our money. At least this is since this competition. This has been the toughest game. Not just the dramatics, you know, that happened, but also in the quality of game they played. You see, they gave us stiff competition. You know, they were a threat to us, lethal threats. They understood our game and came with theirs. as well. Typically, in terms of quality of play, the South Africans had it all 90 minutes. I'll give it more to the South Africans in coordination. They were just unlucky because they created more chances, more deadly chances, more threatening chances, but it was just what it is. Then let me come to Nigeria. Nwabali was the 12th player for us. He was the advantage. If you could remember at the beginning of the game, the first 20 minutes, when we were still trying to find our rhythm, and the South Africans were very much, had settled into the game. Nwabali was so much, full of concentration. He understood every move, watched every move, and his reflexes were on spot, and that also was able to call the his defenders, put them into that same level of concentration. He did very well for me, in the sense that, except in instances where, of course, one or two passes, he had the idea. I wouldn't even say they were mistakes. I would say that the South Africans were up to the task as well in understanding or being able to read our style of play, because he was quite creative. He managed well. He ran back to help the defense, and truly, when he was taking off, of course, he was tired, and we needed a change of legs to keep that energy at that middle going. So being an attacking midfielder and being replaced by a defensive midfielder, it was also going to alter our style of play.
Yeah.
I'm also going to congratulate and especially appreciate Osimhen. You see his tenacity. You would see that his style of play in the first half was not the style of play in the second half. And whenever he employs that style of play that he does, which is his traditional style of play throughout this competition, he would force the opponent to make mistakes. Where he becomes, he goes back, he doesn't just wait for the ball. When he wasn't fed the ball, or rather, he saw that the South Africans wouldn't let the ball through to him, he had to go disturb them. And that was where they made that mistake. And as soon as South Africa made that mistake, they became vulnerable, because that was their fear. They didn't want to, For me, I also think luck was on their side, in the sense that the Yusuf infringement, gave them that penalty, because it was a 50-50 thing. It was a fair challenge. Anybody would have.
I'm sorry. How do you think that thing was a fair challenge? It was a clear foul.
No. When I'm saying it's a fair challenge, right? It would have been. I'm not saying it's not a penalty. I'm saying if Yusuf had not made an attempt, for me, in my opinion, it would have been more naive of him, for someone in that position, not to make a challenge for that ball. Unfortunately, the South African guy was faster than him, and what happened. However, I must also appreciate the coaching crew, game management, especially from 90 minutes, the 90th minutes, after the South Africans had equalized. I was saying to someone that this is where the technical team played against themselves. This is all about game management. And we saw it when he had played his primary players in the regular time. Getting to the end of the extra time, he had to bring in people he felt could give him an advantage for the penalty. Your Meruos, and also even in Hanacho, to come and bring some level of stability. This tactics reminded me of Nigeria, Brazil in Atlanta, the Olympics, where we were 3-2 down, and even in that game, Okocha had missed a penalty, right? And the coach had to bring out Okocha, and it wasn't Brazil, that was Argentina. But even in that game, he had to make some changes where he brought in Teslim Fatoussi and also brought in, I think, Mobile Okparaku.
That was Brazil.
Right.
Yeah, that was Brazil.
Yeah, that was Nigeria,
Yes.
Brazil, right? Yeah. And these guys, these two people had not played throughout that competition. They were unknown names. But you see, these were dynamics that Bonfrejo brought in at that time that were needed to bring some level of stability and also adapt to the dynamics of the game. That was what Pusero did. And I really congratulate him for that. For that is prowess. Nwabali, for me, again, is the man of the match. He was the difference. He was the difference because the South Africans, they came to the game. They came to the competition.
Yeah.
Kudos to them, but big ups to Nigeria. For me, I'd rather want to play Congo. Reason being that, yes, you don't want to play in finals. Everything will be working against you. The crowd is against you, right? You're playing the host team. That will be, look at the circumstances in which, they would have psychological advantage to an extent because they're not supposed to be where they are. However, Providence has brought them this far. If they find their way to the finals, they would have some psychological edge, believing that fate is on their side.
There will be a dangerous animal.
Yeah.
Yes, and the atmosphere will be so hostile to Nigeria. I know we're up to the task, but I'd rather play with a DR Congo, right? So both Congo and Nigeria will be on neutral soil, right? We will dig it out, and I believe we still have the advantage, But with our game so far, this trophy is for Nigeria. The only time where we got to the finals in AFCON and didn't carry the trophy was against Cameroon. It was twice against Cameroon, 2000,
Times. 3 times.
Three times that Cameroon beat us in the final, yeah?
3 times Cameroon has beaten us.
Oh, really? I remember 88 because these were the 2 matches I watched.
84.
84, I was still a child, so I can't remember 88. 88.
History book told us.
But yeah, okay. I want to let you go now, but I have one question for you before I let you go.
Shoot.
Whatever happens in the final, win or lose, should Jose Peseiro stay on the job and lead us to the World Cup?
Yes, please, he should, because he has brought these players together. He has built this character, this energy, this cohesion. We can't just throw that away. It's a philosophy. Whatever it is, whether we understand it or not, it's producing results. We must let it work. We should let it grow into the possibly World Cup. And so, it will be against us. Even if we didn't win this game, we were not to let him go. That's the truth. Yes. From this level of this stage of competition.
But I heard that.
Sorry, I have to let you go now. Please just remove yourself from your end, Santa Jerry, so that I can bring somebody else on.
Right. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Unfortunately, it seems like Harunagaba has taken up one spot. His name is not leaving the list, so I can only bring 2 people up at a time. Over to you, Andre.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, talking about the game. The last time I spoke here, I said something about the team gelling as the tournament progresses. I know at the beginning, so many people did not believe in the Super Eagles. I will not exclude myself. I had my doubts, but I still believe that if the Eagles can navigate through the group stages, then these are professional footballers. They're going to gel. We're going to build something special, and everyone can see to that now. The first thing is about the tenacity of the team. That's what I love most. I made mention about our setup, and you can see some other teams are beginning to copy that setup. Any team that has discipline and focus will always go places. About this game today, I will start with Nwabali. I don't even know what to say about Nwabali, because the first time I saw Nwabali keep, I think it was against Mexico. He conceded 4 goals that day. My nephew, I spoke to one of my nephew who is in Bristol, so he was asking me at the beginning of the tournament, who do you want to be in the first team? I said, there was a guy called Stanley Nwabali. In that friendly, they should start him. I want him to be the first keeper. Give him a chance. He said, he considered. I said, forget about the 4 goals he considered. I saw something about him. Any goalkeeper that can control his area, handle crosses very effectively, has something in him. Any other thing you can work on it. If you want to destabilize a defense or a goalkeeper, just put in crosses. And if you don't have a good keeper, we used to have this problem with Peter Rufai back in the days, handling of crosses. In the final of 1994, that was what Zambia used to score us. Crosses used to be Rufai's biggest problem. And that was one strong point of Ike Shurumu back in the days. If you follow goalkeepers, good goalkeepers that can handle area balls are always, because they give you this assurance. Once the ball comes in, before you know they pick it up.
that is their own.
Yes, you relax. The defense will calm down. Everywhere will be calm for that second. And he will tell you to calm down, calm down. And there is this smile on his face that, I mean, you don't even feel, it's not like the tension and everything. Somebody said that he gives the assurance to the players. He gives the assurance to even the fans. We who are watching, you feel like, nothing that happened. We there here. I mean, this guy is so confident that, I mean, I don't know where he got his confidence from. So
And
for him,
and just cut you off, but how about his quickness off his line? When he needs
yes,
to come
you
off
see
his
that
line
40
to
meter,
make it.
that 40 meter, that is the reading of the game. He reads the game so perfectly that, and having Ekong is also a big advantage. Two of them, they have this synergy that, like, they understand very well. And a keeper that can scream at the defense. If you remember this Chilavat of Bolivia, which country then? Chilavat, yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, Paraguay, yeah. The way he will scream at the defenders, go, stay. You command your area. That is a good point for any goalkeeper. So Nwabali is just a blessing from God at the nick of time. Then moving on to the defense line, people are asking about Zaidu and everything. I tell you, the moment I saw the lineup, I don't see that Zaidu has not been putting on a shift. But the South Africans, I tell you, if we had played Zaidu today, that wing would have been their target point. Pissarro is a good mind reader. He just destabilized them.
But sorry, I'll pause you there. If Zedu got injured, if he was fit, he would have started.
Well, I don't know, but you remember there was a game that was last season. Arsenal played against Liverpool, and the Liverpool club said something. We trained all week for Zinchenko or Tierney on the left flank against Salah, and we came into the field and met Tomiyasu. When you bring such shocks, sometimes injury causes it, sometimes it's a mastermind from the coach. You just surprise your opponent with some element of twist. At that point, they have to start changing their match plan, and then you have an edge. Little thing. Then somebody was talking about Iwobi. People were talking about Iwobi today. I was just laughing. The first guy that spoke here, he really analyzed the game very well. What the South Africans were trying to have, Iwobi did a yeoman's job today. And Onyeka, I wasn't surprised they were tired. I wasn't surprised at all they were tired. If you played a little bit of football, you will understand what those guys were doing today. It wasn't easy. And the South Africans were very quick. They were very fast. I'm not trying to write them off as a team, South Africans. I just felt that their display today was more of people who are fired up, like East Niger. Like I have about a couple of friends in South Africa who have been crying. There's a memo out by the Nigerian High Commission, warning all Nigerians to stay calm, to stay in, to be very careful because of this football match. So it's like it's a do or die. They were boasting. The Bayana defeated the Super Falcons to win the AFCON. That are going to repeat the same thing. I mean, it was more than football today. So those guys were fired up, if not for the experience of the Eagles and the tactical genius of our coach. I give it to him. Someone was saying he's assistant. No, he was assistant to Carlos Queiroz in Real Madrid. He understood, and if you know Carlos Queiroz, in all his teams he manages, both in Iran, he has managed Iran, Man U, is a defensive-minded coach. Always. This is his formation. And anyone who plays this our formation, I mentioned the last time of Philippe Trouze. You don't play beautiful football, but you are very difficult to beat. So coming back to Osimhen needs a national award.
You have to start
I'm telling you.
rounding off, please.
Yes. Osimhen needs a national award from us. Because what Osimhen did today is like a soldier who has been shot and still carry the wound and say, today, we no grief for anybody. We must go for this game. You know, I was so tensed when he got that first knock at the beginning. I'm like, if Osimhen leaves this game.
In
the first minute, while then look, man, Moses, people were talking about Moses today. He was trying to dribble. You see, South African coach Boro said something before the game that Osimhen is not the danger in Nigeria. He mentioned Lukman and Simon. These guys they are the danger, and they knew it. So I do not expect them to have an easy game. The shift they put into there, well appreciated. Well appreciated. Chukwueze came in, also did very well. The sub Al Hassan case. Why I'm always very particular about those who play like Onyeka plays that. The little time I play football, that used to be my win. It's like what happened to some against Italy in 1994 when Baggio equalized. If Al Hassan did not make that tackle, you don't know what's going to happen. And that position, you have to. I don't even blame him for anything. Somebody said he didn't go for the ball. No, you said him.
No, he went for the ball for sure.
Yes, but unfortunately, it was just like a leg. One leg came in first, and the other one. My problem with the referees, and that's what I want them to answer me. If that foul was committed anywhere else on the pitch, because I see it every time. The last time there was one on Osimhen, he was stepped on completely against Angola, and the referee even gave a free kick to the Angolans, and Osimhen was on the ground. So if that foul was committed anywhere else outside that 18-yard box, would VAR call it back? This is where I want the consistency to remain. If you give that foul here, it should be a foul anywhere else. But today we saw many of them on the pitch from the South Africans, and they never called it. It was because that was on the penalty spot. They had to call it. So if they're going to...
I have to, 1 minute so that we can bring it up.
Okay, I want to round up. Talking about your final question, who do I want in the final? I've already answered that when the last guy was speaking. I want the Congos, please. The Elephants are... They're going to, number one, we beat them on a penalty with a penalty goal in the group stage. They want to come back for a revenge and fear that man who is on a revenge mission. Yeah, he makes them a little bit prone also, but I don't want that fan, that 60,000 capacity stadium to be filled up with orange men. Different antics will come on that day. And also they will have a little bit of, you don't know who's going to be the referee. Sometimes these referees blow according to the crowd. They'll be giving them fouls upon fouls and everything. Little things that decides the game. So I would go for the Congo. Let us be on a neutral ground. Just the way we won the last one with Burkina Faso. Let's play on a neutral like that.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Very well detailed. Please remove yourself from your end so that I can bring somebody else.
Okay. Right.
All right. Thank you.
My guy.
Over to you. Yes.
My guy, my bro. How are you? Long time no see, my brother.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. Well, firstly, let us commend the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles did a very good job. I think from where they started to where they are now, I think they should be commended. I think most of us Nigerians were very skeptical coming into AFCON, and if anyone said they wasn't skeptical, then they're definitely lying, because for me, I was very skeptical. For me, I think game by game, we've seen improvement, and I think today's game shows that this team is very united, and I've seen unity in Super Eagles teams, but I would say in recent years, we've not seen that, and I'm sure you agree with me. But for me, I was very confident in the penalty. I was very confident in the game. Whether we like it or not, South Africa...
In that penalty, your heart was not in your mouth.
Listen, even if my heart was in the mouth, when I saw Senior Man as the last guy, I said, there's going to be a goal. I was comfortable. I was confident. And I think we have to understand with the South African team. The South African team literally wanted to soak up pressure. You could see that. Like, let's keep it real. How many times did they get to our final third? Even the ones that they did not do that much. So I think you kind of have to understand that for me personally, as a Nigerian, what I saw here is good. I have to question some people's comments on Iwobi. I feel like if we get Ivory Coast in the final, I don't think Iwobi should play that role for me personally. I feel that we need to look at somebody else because I feel that Iwobi will do some good stuff for like first 20, 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he gets to the second half, he just fades away in the game. So I'm thinking to myself, if we're going to play Ivory Coast in the final, if we're going to play Ivory Coast in the final, I genuinely do think that maybe we can, either see if, you can play a part. But for me, I feel that maybe we should look at other options that we have. But then saying that, I personally think that the formation as well that the manager is playing as well, I think suits our team. I think for the type of players we have, I think for the type of defenders we have, and even Olaina and Bassi, like we've got a good team that can progress forward. But saying that, you could see that there's issues in the final third. We've got players who are dribblers. We've got players that can get in between the lines, but we just can't finish our chances. And if as a team, we're saying, okay, Oshiman is our outlet. He will always be our outlet for everything. He's going to be our finisher. Then we need to ensure that we're working with these players in terms of final third. Yes, it's great that Lookman has scored for us. It's great that Moses is creating something for us. But at the end of the day, Oshiman is a natural goal scorer. And for us in this tournament, I will tell you this now, Oshiman has been amazing for us. He's given these defenders, especially these centre halves, problems. Where that even when he's close to them, we give them problems. It's just that finishing. So for me, at the end of the day, when we look at the start of the tournament to where we are now, our final third and finishing needs to be a bit better. And if we're going to play Ivory Coast, yes, we've got the momentum to carry on and potentially win. But we have to basically do better in the final third because goals are what's going to make you win. I don't want us, I can't lie, to go to the final and we're in the penalty stage again. My heart cannot take it. I will go and have heart attack. For what? For AFCON.
Okay.
You just said that you were
confident.
I was confident, but you have to also understand, my brother, is that we've got the ammunition to score. We've got proven goal scorers here. And if we're not providing outlet for them for Oshiman and our guys to score, then it's going to cause us problems. And again, like I said, I'm watching Congo as I speak. If we play them, they're not an easy team to beat. I'm watching them now. They're dominating Ivory Coast. If we play Ivory Coast here, they've got good physical players. Final thirds, they're actually not bad. So you have to look at these things and say to ourselves that, okay, what can we do better here? And I'm sure that in the near distant future, we will win this cup and we'll go and celebrate and drink beer.
Okay, let me just pause you there. Welcome, Viv Solomon. Thank you for joining. So, Viv, I know you wanted to say something when he was talking about Iwobi. So, what did you have to say?
I wanted to say that in this system, in this team, you need Alex 100% because with his passing and the way he sees, he breaks lines for the attacking players to get on the half turn and do their thing attacking wise. He's very good. He's very comfortable on the ball, especially these type of tournaments. That's what you need, especially with the physical side as well. Obviously, you need both sides, and he provides you both, along with Onyeka and Aribo. All these guys, they provide both physical and technical aspects of the game. One thing I would say is you also got to take into consideration that we're not going to create as many chances because of the system that we play. We play with 5 defenders and we break them on a counter. So remember, against Ivory Coast, we had maybe 2 or 3 counter attacks each half. And also, there's times in game you have to also accept that the other team is also going to have their time on the ball. Like today with South Africa, they had spells. You have to also be cautious of that. But in those moments, the way we defended and the way we defended from the first game, you also have to give your props to Shemi Ajayi and Charles Kong and Calvin Bassey and Olaina. They've been the best. That's been the best defense, and Bright Osai as well. There's been the best defense in this tournament. Like no one can argue and dispute with that. So you just have to take into consideration the type of formation and the tactics that we're using and playing. It's worked. Also, the substitutions have been right at the right time. To be fair, personally, I didn't believe taking Alex off in 60th minute because he was breaking lines with his passes, and the more momentum and the more energy the guys were getting from the adrenaline, you could see that there would have been 1 or 2 more chances. So that's the only change I didn't really agree with. But other than that, I thought The team has been we've been solid and been strong. Everybody kind of says, "Oh, the foreign-based players can they handle the African aspect of football?" Of course they can. They've
Of course they
showed
can.
from minute one to minute to now, and it's been amazing to see. It's been great. I'm so proud of the team that we're through to the final. It's been a long
And let
time
me just
coming.
say something as well.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, hold
I
on,
don't
hold on,
think.
hold on,
Go
hold
on,
on,
go on.
sorry, hold on, hold on. Viv, I want to ask you a question just about Alex Iwobi. So, do you think, in that first half, especially, in my opinion, I think we were being overrun in midfield. The South Africans, our midfield wasn't too present, and we were getting beat by a lot of long balls.
Yeah, but
So I feel like that is partially why the coach said, you know what, I'm going to pull Alex off and bring in a combative midfielder that can cover ground and can go forward, can come back and help in defense. Obviously, Alassane Yusuf is not as technical as Alex Iwobi.
Of
He's
course.
not going to see the passes that Alex is going to see and play those passes. But he has quote unquote more energy, and he can cover more ground than Alex. Would you maybe try to understand? Obviously, it didn't go to plan.
no,
He ended up
I,
conceding the penalty. But can
I
you
understand.
understand that?
I understand exactly what you're saying. But also, like I said, teams have moments and they have spells. South Africa had that moment where they were counter-attacking in the first 10 minutes of the first half, and then after that, it stopped.
Mm.
So you also got to take into consideration it's football, it's two-sided games. Things like this are going to happen. It's just how you deal with it, and that's why you have your defense, your backline defense behind you. It's like I said, this
Mm.
like you got to also take into consideration African football and European football are two different things. It's more so physicality and strength and power. But at the same time, teams they start to get tired, they start to wear off, and it then comes to your experience and your know-how of the game. And he's been in many situations like this before at club level and international level. So, like I said, anyways, we won the game. It was good.
It is
Everybody
what it is. We're going
they
to the
done their
final.
job, and we're in the final. So everybody's happy and may it so continue to the final. So yeah.
All right. Okay, we're going to say something.
Oh, me? Well, I was going to say something before I quickly rush off. For me, again, like I said, I don't think in this tournament any team has basically sussed us out in terms of our defensive capabilities. Like for me personally, I'm I'm just looking at a team and I'm just so proud because that was probably one of our weaknesses I believe we've had in the past, and I feel that no one sussed us out. I was thinking that if someone sussed us out, we might be in trouble. And I'll be honest with you, coming into the South Africa game, I was confident not because it's South Africa, but because I felt that we had the capability and the players to be able to do what we have to do. And we've gone there. We've gone to the final. I frankly don't care if it was through the penalty or not. We're going to the final. We shut a lot of people up. Ghana, everybody quiet. Angola quiet now. South Africa quiet. So at the
And
end of the day, final now.
you also have to take into consideration everybody
Is against
what's it
us.
called? Everybody has been against this on that. I
Against
don't know
us
why
all day.
everybody has been against us. For what?
Oh,
For
honestly, if I were from a different country, even I would be against us.
Everyone's against us. They want us to
we
lose.
are we are we are
I
too
don't
loud and we are too proud.
no,
I
but
love
listen,
it, but
you have to but it comes that's just the beauty of Nigeria. That's who we are. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just who we are, but
For me, it's the socials that were pissing me off. That's the reason why me too. I'm doing my own. If everybody's if they're gonna come on socials and start talking, especially for me, it wasn't even the Ghanaians that were the issue. It started for me when I started to get a bit angry was when the Angolans and the Angolans and South Africans started piping up past couple of days. I said, okay, no problem. I'm not gonna
no,
say
even
anything. I'll keep
see
quiet.
on my YouTube channel, the way South Africans took over my comment section
Of course.
yesterday and the day before, I
Have you
was
have you
like,
seen
where
the
did you people
abuse?
come out from?
Have you seen the abuse I'm getting on my messages, my Snapchat? Do you get what I mean? Because I do football in it. Like I'm getting all these messages, and I'm saying no problem. After this, I'm gonna be playing different songs on my Snapchat just to irritate them for the final. But hopefully we win, and if we win, then it's great on all of us. But yeah, man, I'm
listen,
proud. I'm proud of the team, man.
Thank
you
you,
got
thank you
like
very much.
you have to give
Yeah,
big
we've gone.
big up to Victor. Has worked extremely hard and he's done very very well, especially very very
Viv,
well.
let me ask you a question about Victor. What would you say about his mentality? Because coming into this tournament, he just won the African Best Player. Everybody was expecting Victor to come and score goals. The goals aren't quite coming for him, but in every game we still see the effort even when he gets the ball and he sees a teammate in a better position, he's not playing selfishly. He's not playing like strikers that you just expect. Oh, once they have a clear view of goal, they're taking a shot. He's actually passing to teammates. He's playing for the team. How what would you say about his mentality, and how easy is it to do that when you know that people are expecting you to be the one scoring the goals?
It's just like you said, a lot like especially with professional footballers. First and foremost, you have to work hard for the team, you know. And obviously the goals are not coming, but like I said again, you have to take into consideration the type of formation and the system that we are playing. So the chances are not gonna, honestly, the chances are not gonna come like as they're coming 100% like all the time. But at the end of the day, he's running, he's pressing, he's he's tracking back, he's always showing for the ball. He's showing. You can just see that he's a leader, and you can see that the player that he's become, like he's just become a world beater, really. Like all of that. His personality off the field also is a very strong one, and he has a very strong mind. So it's showing on the field as well, like especially. So it shows that he's very mentally strong and he has a very good mentality, and he works hard for his team. He puts his team before himself, and he gets rewards. Okay, he didn't score today; his goal was disallowed, but his reward was that they're in the final through his hard work. So sometimes the goals may not come, but it's what you're doing off the ball and with the ball. He's still holding the ball up, allowing others to come into play. And that's what people tend to forget about football. They think, oh, goals, 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 goals. But watch what he was doing for the 90 minutes or the 110, 20 minutes that he was playing. He was holding the ball up. They couldn't take the ball off him. He was doing everything. So he had a very good game. Very good game.
And I'm going to ask you also about our defense. You mentioned them earlier: Ekong, Basi, Ajayi, Olaino. Even today played in a different position and he was playing for the rest of the tournament. What has impressed you the most about our defense in this AFCON?
Everybody's just on the same wavelength. It's like Shemi, Jai, and Will. It's like they both. If Shemi knows where Will is and Will knows where Shemi is, and Calvin is possibly the best, and ain't Ola probably Calvin is probably the best 1v1 defender. Like 1v1 against a midfielder attacker is very difficult for the winger to go past him. So that in itself is a bonus when you have two defenders who are very good at 1v1 defending, and also you can just like they've just been so solid. Like they've just been so good. They're winning everything. They're winning their battles. Like I think Trust didn't play in the national team the last 3 camps or something like that before, and then he's coming and look at the tournament. He's had one of the best. He's been one of the best players in the tournament also, along with Shemi as well. You have to also give your credit to Shemi because he's been all the back. Everyone has been very good. Been very good.
I know,
and you can just tell everybody in the camp, everybody's together.
No, Ekong has shown some very impressive leadership in this game, and it's funny to see because when I say funny, because before the tournament in the past year, I would say quote unquote, people have been criticizing him, fans have been criticizing him, and even the coach did not call him up. So when he got called up for this AFCON, after missing out on about 3 or 4 teams before that, some people were questioning the coach's decision that how can you ignore somebody for 6 months and then all of a sudden you are going to a tournament and you call him up to be part of the team. But William Troost-Ekong, I mean, from the very first game, he has been impressive, leading the team from the back. Today, even on the counter-attack in extra time, he realized that, hey, I'm not about to catch this guy, so I'm just going to pull him down, take the yellow card, one for my team. And I mean, we all know professional fouls. It was the right decision because if we allowed him to go on the counter, only God knows what would have come from that. So we have to give so much credit to William Troost-Ekong.
You got to also understand that's just football. Sometimes you may not have the best of times, but then it's how you come out of that, and it just shows his mentality and his work rate and his work ethic and his willingness to show that look, I'm the man, I can do it for you, and he's shown it this tournament, which is very good. So like you said, everybody just has to be happy for the team, for the coaching staff, for the coaches, for the nation. It's been fantastic. It's been a very good tournament. So it's been a very, very good tournament, and There's players on the bench also that haven't really been given an opportunity who are very, very good players also. So that just goes to show the type of job that the starting 11 that the managers chose to stick with are doing, because the squad's very good in itself.
And I want to ask one more question before I let you go. I mean, I don't think at this point, I wouldn't say it's getting ahead of ourselves. We're in the final. We have one more game to win. You get to the final, you want to win. What would a win in the final to lift this trophy, the AFCON 2023 trophy, what would that do for the legacy of a player like Victor Osimhen, a player like William Troost-Ekong, a player like Omero to become a two-time AFCON winner? All these players that have been working so hard have been in the team. Osimhen, we know how talented he is. He's about to potentially win something for and with Nigeria. What would winning this trophy do for their legacies? What do you think?
It will never be forgotten. Like, it'll take, I feel like you can't, I don't think words can really describe what it will do for them, because to win something for your country to play for your country is a dream in itself, but to win something again, that just takes it to a whole different scale. Like, the magnitude is on a whole nother level. So it will, for sure, Victor again will go from here to here to here to here. He will continue to go further and further and further. Trust, it will go down in history as like a very great captain for Nigeria, for sure, 100%. Omarelu as well, he will go down as one of the best defenders that Nigeria's had, and one of the most decorated players that Nigeria has had. So it will be a very, very big achievement. I don't think words can really describe that. I don't even think they will be able to describe it if you ask them. But
all right. Thank you very much, Viv. Thank you for joining me and for sharing your thoughts. Nice to hear from a professional as well. I always like to get that insight that we might not have just watching and having never played the game. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Take it easy. Right. Good night.
Right. And guys, there we have it. Unfortunately, it would not let me bring anybody else on. I would have loved to bring some more people on, but it's not letting me bring anybody else on. I can't even see the request anymore. But yes, the Super Eagles are through to the final of AFCON 2023. We are going to face the winner of Ivory Coast versus DR Congo. It's currently halftime in that game. It is 0-0. So we wait to see the result, and we wait to see who we will be beating in the AFCON final. Very quickly, let me know who you want to face, DR Congo or Ivory Coast. Let me know your man of the match. I think most people would say Stanley Nwabali, but if you have somebody else, you can, of course, let me know in the comments quickly. I see somebody was asking, did we miss Zaidu in today's game? I think it depends on who you ask, honestly. For me, I don't necessarily think we missed Zaidu. I think Osai Samuel or Olaino was just not able to shine as usual on the left-hand side. If Zaidu was there, would things have been different? We cannot really tell. He could have made a mistake. He could have had a fantastic game. I wouldn't say we missed Zaidu. But of course, Osai Samuel didn't have the best first half, but came back into the game in the second half. So it's a really tricky one. At the end of the day, we won the game. Even the chances we conceded, it wasn't like it was from the position as Zaidu would have been. And we cannot say, Zaidu would have scored, because we don't know. So I don't really know how to answer that question. But for me, I don't think we did. A lot of people are saying Nwabali for sure. I see my mayor wants to play Congo. Ayuba J wants to play Congo. But I can see that Seed wants to face the Ivory Coast. Seed says, I not tried his best. I know crosses were better. Fumi says, I love your post-game video. You are doing a good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging as always. Wado Rex says, Ekong is the man of the match for me today. Brilliant captain. Fantastic. I mean, we have to give kudos to William Troost-Ekong. He has been leading this team so well from the very first game. And the way he even speaks, he speaks with such a panache, such confidence, just leadership. Very, very impressed with William Troost-Ekong. A lot of people doubted him. I've always said it that Ekong can turn up for Nigeria, and he turns up for Nigeria in important tournaments. Look at the past AFCONs that he's played in. He's been quite a good player for us, and today again scored the goal. I mean, I'm sure at this point South Africans are tired of him, but Fantastic display by William Troost-Ekong. And by the special grace of God, by the grace of anything that you believe in, the Super Eagles, William Troost-Ekong and Ahmed Musa, will lift the AFCON 2023 trophy on Sunday. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel at Eagles Tracker NG on YouTube. Of course, we are going to record a post-match review. We're going to do a detailed review of today's game. It's going to be on YouTube, the Niger FC podcast. And of course, when we know who we are going to face, we are also going to record a preview of the final match. It is going to be on our YouTube channel at Eagles Tracker NG on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, it's been a pleasure engaging with you guys. My name is IoT. This is Eagles Tracker of Nigerian football. Up Super Eagles. Nigeria know they ever carry last. We're through to the final. Bye-bye, guys.